Mapambano, mapambano, bado mapambano. That is what came out of Kamkunji yesterday. As that was happening, we had Jubilee leaders meeting President William Ruto. Or rather, before that happened, we had Jubilee leaders meeting President William Ruto at State House. And most prominent, Kanini Kega, Sabina Shege. What did you make of that development while Jeremiah Kioni was at Kamkunji?
I think it did two things. First and foremost, it tells us the president has no problem with Gachagua becoming strong in Mount Kenya region. It means his strategy for 2027 is different. It doesn't mind him becoming strong as long as he's strong on behalf of Kenya Kwanza. Remember, these guys were with Gachagua a day or two earlier. They had a sitting with the deputy president, and I want to believe that's where these plans on being in State House yesterday were mooted. And it was not a coincidence that it happened yesterday when they were supposed to be on the other side with the Azimio leadership, saying the things that Azimio was saying, which would have basically said all of us, as we were a few months ago when elections were happening, are together in terms of these decisions that are being arrived at on how to proceed from this point on. I think what the president was saying is that where Raila was relying on to win the elections is not supporting what Raila is doing at the moment in terms of the decisions he has made on how to go about the politics. So it was loud, very, very loud. And especially, I'm not even worried about Kanini Kega. I am more concerned with Sabina, who is an insider, who is an integral part of the Azimio team, not now Jubilee, Azimio. Is in the whatever it is called, the national executive whatever. So that was a telling statement right there, and it made Kioni look very isolated in that meeting. He was looking extremely isolated, and there's something else there. I think most of these people, especially the person of my brother Kioni, are not politically that well respected in the region right now. They did not handle Jubilee election. Forget about Azimio. They messed up Jubilee nominations in a big, big way. And don't be surprised that all those things that happened. Number one, the nominations were a sham. You go in, sit, have some manner of interview, then they decide this is him. Then that's not even the problem. There is no follow through in terms of, we know some of you are not happy. Can we have a conversation on how you will support this person that we picked based on what we thought was solid grounds on picking him? There was completely nothing you allowed to just go, just disappear. We don't care. And that's why most of these people did not win, because the people who lost in the nominations, so-called party primaries, went and vied and flopped miserably again. All of them came tumbling. So I think, to me, there should have been a discussion around how do you even first and foremost consolidate? How do you regain that confidence people had in the party, in your background, before you come nationally and now want to join the so-called national movement and declare that you represent a party called Jubilee, who's just about everyone who is elected on that platform is on the same moment, same time, on the other side. You are not elected in the first, you're just the Secretary General. The elected ones, the ones that were elected, the ones, meaning they were the ones with the people, are with the president in State House. I think these are the dynamics that need to be looked at, so that even if it's kicking out some of these people and we see Raila, the Raila we knew, going it alone and coming up with a different strategy and different individuals that would give whatever it is that he's doing better traction. That would work for me. Okay,
Prof, what did it communicate to you?
I think it communicates really nothing. You know, the Ghanaian politicians believe only in their stomach. So whatever they feel there is personal benefit, believe me, they will go there, regardless of what the politics is telling them. But I think the weakness, and I think I support the Deputy President attempt to build himself. That is what a politician should do in the Mount Kenya region. He should continue doing that. But the problem is right here. Borrow 3.6 trillion in the first term. What this tells you is that this economy will not improve, because it's already weighing down heavily with debt. What does that mean politically? It means the central Kenya people will start running away from the politicians. Because these people, the difference between the central Kenya citizens of this country, the Mount Kenya region people, the difference between them and the rest of the Kenyans other than the Bukusu is that they are very sensitive to the economy. Because these people are largely self-reliance. So when the economy does not improve, now Kion is starting getting traction because he's the one who is on the other side in terms of the region. And that portends big problem for Gachagua. What I saw in the Uhuru term is that Uhuru borrowed 2.9 trillion money and approved by parliament. So there's nobody who is following where did that money go. He borrowed 2.9 trillion in the domestic market, which was not approved by the National Assembly. He borrowed 1.1 trillion over 8-year period internationally, again unapproved by parliament. Okay?
And what's the basis of these figures?
Now the basis, you just go to the central bank web page and you can harvest the figure, the way the money was being borrowed, and then you see which one was being approved by parliament, which was not approved by parliament. So you add them together and you find that over 3 trillion, that is 2.9 trillion from the domestic market. I want to tell you for 8 years, parliament never approved a single borrowing from domestic market because borrowing is supposed to be for project. Okay? So it's very easy. These are all statistics on the central bank page, portal. And they are very honest. They put all of them there. So it's up to you to go and do some analysis and find out what was being borrowed. Because in some situations, parliament approved, say, 400 billion to pay a debt. Okay? But Uhuru borrows 800 billion. When parliament has only approved payment of 400. Okay? You know, that's just an example. But if you want the specific figures, believe me, I can give them to you.
Okay.
So what I'm saying here is that it is irrelevant where these Jubilee MPs who are or where they are going to be. They will start shifting when the public shifts. And if this is not arrested, the public will shift.
Okay.
Because the public want a performing economy. You know, I saw a joke in the social media. That's why I realized the Kenyans are started thinking very seriously. The joke was that, I don't know, there was a report from somewhere there is capital flight. A lot of money has left the country like in 4 months. And then somebody made a joke. And they said money doesn't like insecurity. Money needs to predict stability. And if they don't see that there, the money will walk away. So somebody made a joke saying even Johnny Griamete, I think it was, isn't Johnny, the guy who used to rob banks, he was called Griamete. So somebody was saying in social media, if Griamete was made a CEO of a certain bank, he asked, would you put your money there? Explaining why investors are likely to run away from Kenya. You need to give people confidence that the country economy is moving in the right direction and that there will be peace. Money doesn't like insecurity. So unless we can send that message, and that's why I'm saying that the government should stop Brabando.
Okay.
This guy says, my toe is painful. Call him, ask him, where is that pain? What can we do with the pain? But the Bravando will give the investors, both the local and international, the feeling that the country may not be stable for investment, and that will not help any of us. So for me, I would think that both of them need to step down, treat Kenya as their mother, and decide how do we clothe this mother of ours.
Okay.